I don't remember what this big grim that breathes fire is called, but I love its Solitos design. Honestly, is it wrong? I actually prefer that over the one we saw in Mistral, though, on the train.
I mean, it's certainly unique.
Like, I honestly think that it looks better than the one we have in the show. Like, the other one, they're like, okay, that's kind of cool. Well, but the big, like, griffin-looking thing, or sphinx-looking thing, that thing looks sick.
Yes.
The Beowulf is a close second, in my opinion. The apathy he compared to the one we see in the show is kind of bad. That's because there's really not that much different other than that those small little icicles on their back. One thing I've known for people who play this game, taking out the person who throws her weapon like a boomerang, yeah, it doesn't make the weapon not hit you. I have had times where I have completed the ambush and still got killed because I didn't duck. Has that ever happened to you when you played a game, Nick? Basically, like where you've gone through a horde of enemies, you duck or jump over the first of a, basically boomerang style attack, you kill the person who does the attack, and you think, oh, things are fine now. Only to get hit in the back by that very same weapon because it didn't dissipate, thus having to go through that all over again. It's quite irritating, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, this happened to me in this game at least 2 or 3 times before I realized, wait, the attack is still ongoing, even if the person doing the attacking has either been deaded or knocked out. Also, 3 ambushes in a row. It is now, I believe, time to face off with Briar. This one has the ability to copy semblances of those whose reflections have been reflected, are currently have been reflected within her prismatic blades, making it likely that she can hold up to 4, or technically 5 nuclear own semblances at a time. The green one has something called Threshold, which allows her to go through the ground. This one, her semblance is basically the Coco's, but fiery.
Oh,
Hey, Ricky.
I don't remember what route it does.
Ricky.
I don't think there is a Ricky at the moment. I think he's still in the pooper.
Fair enough.
Wait. Drill Girl's one who goes through the ground. This one creates localized portals for her weapon to utilize her whip with.
what?
Bring it on. I could afford to tank it.
What?
Yes, alright. That, you have to speak with you. You don't get the right I did best.
Right.
Hey,
Hello.
hello. I have good news. Good news. I am currently mapping out Red Wolf outlines if you'd like to see. Sure. And feel free to give questions, comments, suggestions, all that fun jazz. Okay.
As you do.
I'm gonna say, you guys actually haven't given me much feedback as of late, and I apparently do good work.
Ugh.
Yes.
Wait.
And so I've said it before, but I love how in this Ruby does the little Naruto run. She's the only one who does that.
I do the best.
I'm not even joking, by the way, Ricky. Ruby literally does the freaking Naruto run. It is adorable.
Doesn't Blake do it?
Nope. Not in Arrowfell.
Fair enough. We can. Yeah, odds she learned it from Blake. Probably.
Yeah.
Ruby is a nerd.
Honestly, I'm just imagining those two running. Like, imagine they were doing like a two-person in group project together, and they're both late. You just see them both doing the Naruto run to get to class. And Blake's like, "Why are we doing this? It makes them go faster in anime."
Y'all your numbers are running right.
It gets silly, but in a good way. That's another set of those bought. I'm just getting prepared. Next step, to go to Essen, I believe. I should go there next. Okay. I should buy this.
There it goes. You weren't supposed to put vital in all caps, Nick. Just to be apology.
An easy mistake to make. No one is upset.
Or a Nick.
Bye-bye.
Salutations!
Mm-hmm.
Uh... What? Huh. Okay.
I just thought to myself something very stupid. Imagine if instead of rebuilding Penny with a larger chest because she asked, Penny asked for thicker thighs instead because she heard that stupid saying, thick thighs save lives.
The sad part is, I could see that.
That's why I was laughing. It's like it shows just how innocent Penny is. It's like, Penny, that's an expression. It doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yeah. Not even accurate.
Nope. Because as Iroh once said, right, Ricky?
It's time for you to look inward and start asking yourself the big questions. Whose lives do think I say? You're funny. You know, it's funny. No one can ever actually answer that question.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
Yep. So apparently, according to Genshin, it saves the lives of the thick-thighed person, because at one point the person named Ganyu was almost eaten by a monster, but when it got up to her eaten whole by a monster, once it got up to her legs, it started choking.
Huh?
Meaning that
You're saying if the gang had bigger thighs, she would choke that Neverborn to death.
Yes, apparently.
Ricky, I have an idea. Go ahead. I was making a joke, yeah. I didn't have an idea. I was making a joke.
I saw you were making joke.
Did you at least find it funny?
I was laughing.
I bet.
But yeah, looking at the image I put earlier, I think it was like earlier today or yesterday. Yeah, the red androids and the white androids remind me a lot of the black androids that were, protecting the She Dust Company train.
Did you just throw a motherfucking dog treat at me? Did you just throw a dog?
But yeah, it actually does add credence to our little idea we were formulating before. And I like that.
Thanks.
Whoops. 1, 2, punch. Yeah, looking at the design, it's quite possible, like I said, that the knights could have been bait. Like that, Merlot could have been the one who made the blueprints for the knights. Considering the fact that, his robots are eerily similar to them. Like a lot of people like, oh, Watts must have been the one who designed them. But I feel like that's just too easy. That, or maybe Watts based the design off of Merlot's designs. You never know. Again, this is just me thinking aloud. I do like how Watts and Merlot are similar as characters, but they're different enough to where it doesn't feel like they just recycled Watts' character to make Merlot.
It was all about Watts. He would not try anything like fucking mutating grip like that.
Yep. Indeed.
Like, even when he does in... Whereas this other one, what about the crossover? See, here's the thing. He modifies the grip with cybernetics to control them. There is a clear difference between the two.
Plus, those were basically digital Grim, not real Grim.
Whoa.
Yeah. Watts would never fucking try to do that shit as real Grim. Because he understands that real Grim can't be controlled unless Watts cared about control.
Yep. But yeah, I do enjoy that. The fact that they were, back then, they were able to make two characters who, on the surface, when you look at it, they're basically the same character, but that one difference, that being Merlot's fascination with the Grimm and wanting to use them as a thing to help people, well, as a whole, because that was basically his goal with the Grimm. He wanted to turn them to a force that could protect people. I like how just that one small difference is enough to make them two completely unique characters. What do you think about that, Ricky? And we have no idea if Merlot has any connections to Atlas, other than the potential possibility that he may have been the one who designed any of the original versions of the Knights, which were then, upgraded into what we have today. That's only based on the fact that the robots look similar in, design, like the behemoth looking motherfucker with a grenade launcher. That looks basically like if you let's say you compare the regular Knight to Peter Parker's physique, like his visual physique, and then the other one, it's like, oh, that's Captain America. For the white android, that's basically the only difference, is one was beefier. At least that's how I visually saw it. So it is possible that Merlot could have been from Solidas, but decided to go to Vale to start things up on his own. Brain is braining. What if him seeing the Solitasi, being around the Solitasian in Grimm, seeing that, Grimm actually can evolve, gave him the idea for what he was doing in the first place.
Makes sense.
Again, I'm just braining.
Okay.
Well, what do you think about that idea, Ricky? Sort of a way to make the world of Remnant feel more connected.
Right? We gotta make sure we don't make it too good.
Oh, I know.
We'll make the world feel small.
Oh, I know. Does this in any way make it feel a little small? Well,
No.
I was about to say, like the current writer of the RWBY's intelligence.
Nice.
I knew that would get a laugh from you. And to those who Archie defenders, I am not going to apologize.
Well, groupie defenders, RT has been back in Burns' hands.
Well, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Until he does something with it that, will, you know what I mean. I still give RT the same flack. I still will give RT the same flack I give RWBY. Until further notice. Respect and forgiveness.
Go ahead, Harry.
I was gonna say, respect and forgiveness is earned, not given.
And I like Nick. Thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions? No? You're doing pretty good?
I hope you are having a good day. That is my thought right now. Because I'm just a nice guy when I want to be.
Sorry about my lack of feedback. I'm still very tired. It's the norm. It's the norm.
Well, that's because well, sometimes with me and Ricky, sometimes we have feedback immediately. Other times it takes us time to process things.
Okay, my brain is processing slower because of the tires, guys. If you guys, well, even if you guys do say, well, you never say it. That way, whenever we do say it.
Like when I asked a while back, I don't know if I ever got an answer for it. Okay, with the whole atavism thing, how would you tell if an atavist is that or a beastman?
Beastmen, and unless they show traits in their common form, don't you just look like a human.
I know about that, but I'm talking about, like, you know, a faunus beastman, because you never said that a faunus can't be one.
See, here's the problem with that. A beastman is not a human or a faunus. They're their own separate race.
Yeah, and I'm referring to, like, Ruby's a hybrid because she's a human and a beastman, right?
Because faunus are effective. Okay. Because faunus and humans are basically substitutes of the same species, because they can incorporate, and there is zero fertility issues. No. Meaning they are at best subspecies. They're not separate species at all. They are closely related enough genetically that they can do that without any genetic issues or sterility problems. As a result, it doesn't really change anything for the beast.
Yep.
Beastman basically overrides that fucking. Beastman part basically would override whatever unique bits of faunus because, well, they're, you know. Think like how half Viltrumites are basically just Viltrumites. Basically. The only major difference between a hybrid and a full beastman is what Ruby's dealing with controlling the beast. That's the problem. She has that same level of connection, but not the whole mindset and all the other bits. Not all of the internal bits are correct for Ruby to do it as well as a normal beastman off the bat.
Which, he's not one, but due to my boy's unique situation with, you know, Fenrir, for a while people thought would have likely thought that he was a hybrid as well. But nope, that's something completely different.
Yes. because basically the 5 forms are common, colorful, hybrid, man beast, and forms. Which corresponds, if you will, with the roughly with the moons.
Indeed. But what do you think about that whole idea of, Silver at first being mistaken for a hybrid because of Fenrir, here causing him to sometimes when he gets a little nettled, lose control of himself? Only we discovered, no, he's not a hybrid. He's essentially something else.
I mean, I can see the reason why people would be uneducated might think that.
Indeed.
The key difference, however, is the reason is he's going to have a certain trigger. It's not just that. They get it. They have, and even, okay, you know how we have plenty of battle junkie characters?
Yep.
These spirits have it into their DNA that they are the kind of battle junkie that no human physically can. Imagine being a battle junkie hardwired into your DNA.
Indeed.
So basically, I would say get lucky, but that man and defines all of physics in his battle junkiness, so we are not going to be using.
Nice.
Appropriate. I could have said one bit more appropriate. Exactly. Before along the lines of saying, they create a motherfucking battle, and the result of what you bring comes from. And it's that chaos of battles, forms, triumphs, losses, and all that stuff. It is very hard for even a full-blooded beast to keep their wits about them, and this is where the beast spirit comes in. The beast spirit, they have an intrinsic level of connection. They don't need to awaken their beast spirit. Their beast spirit upon birth is armed and ready. So you go. The problem comes when they sleep. They feel it and are their own vortex. There is always that connection. They cannot be severed, they cannot be severed. But they feel it far more acutely. And if somebody tries to fucking resist it, like say, I don't know, yes. The problem is magnifying a way that they honestly are so early and high, we're going to make a friendly game.
Yep. Which is also will likely where the confusion and for those who outside of his own family when it came to my boy, because the whole thing about the divine beast is similar to the beast men, where it's like, yeah, they're actually born with those with divine beast spirits. They're born with their beast spirits already active.
But do you understand what the main difference between divine beast spirits and beast men?
The divine beast spirit users still have to learn to tap into that power even though it's already awakened.
Yep.
They can just do that.
Indeed.
I'm sure there's some learning with these, but they don't have a barrier. He's just dead.
Yeah.
The learning comes over.
Yeah, and the whole thing about, the Saiyan comparison, if you recall, I actually based a lot of the culture of the Tenro partially on Saiyan culture.
We start to think the potentials of Tanner got involved in big that's the game.
We could have that be a case in your story.
Possibly.
I'm fine with that. But yeah, that's why I could see a scene where like maybe Yang or Weiss like RWBY, what do we do? Once let's say Silver loses control of Fenrir for a moment, and she's like how should I know? Like he's one of your kind, isn't he? No, he is not.
That's another thing, and it's like that. It's Beastmen, and even if they're in common form, they know another's a Beastman.
Yep.
A Beastman can't hide from another Beastman.
Honestly,
For humans, honest, because their senses are, because they don't. They do it sort of like a sixth sense. Beastmen know each other.
And they do their thing with the guy beats you because they don't know what they are, but they know they're not beasts.
Look, that sort of sixth sense, that's sort of their sixth sense. They're not like a full sixth sense, just like, you know, a very limited one for like sensing if people are that are not doing. I mean, they don't pay enough, but fucking RWBY killing them kind of thing.
I just imagine.
Why is looking at something older than Beastman? Older? And potentially just as powerful.
And so one thing that they did that Beastmen do have a reason, the Divine Beast Spirit is the ability to combine that Beast Spirit power with their other forms.
Yep.
Yes. Because those forms basically own the power. That is the reason why Beastmen are so fucking busted.
I just imagining Weiss being all, what do you mean he's not one of your kind?
And we're like, I don't know what he is.
Yeah.
You better come to your chance on that church guard.
And since he's currently in rage mode, yeah, he would likely, even with RWBY, take that as a challenge. Basically showing that, yeah, when Fenrir gets enough control, even RWBY, in all universes, even RWBY without a fight can't get him to stop.
And even thing, like, unlike Beastmen who are hardwired to be able to control their beast, Divine Beast users aren't.
They have no better. Yeah. The Divine Beast Builder has no more proclivity for it than a human, than a normal human or fauna.
But they have much more power than a normal human faunus.
I've always said this time and again, what good is power you can't control?
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, it's sort of a fool's game. In a weird way, it's a fool's gambit.
Yeah, like basically think of them as like divine equivalents of Broly from Dragon Ball.
You know, there's power, but there's no fucking way you're gonna control them.
Not really right.
Even then, it's gonna take you a hell of a lot longer to keep this fully under control compared to a normal beast spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's that's basic, but I don't like the
And it's why I also fear Rise so much because he can't control Rise again.
And while most cases of semblances, when the beast takes control, well, yeah, the semblance isn't really able to be used. There are rare cases like Silver and Azura where their semblances are actually compatible with their beast spirits, making things quite.
They can explain so that they can't control it.
Yep.
Like, for example, say Weiss had a Divine Beast Spirit, her split semblance would not be convincing for that.
Because you need focus in order to use semblance like Weiss's, whereas a semblance like Silver's numbers, which is essentially improvement, how much focus do you really need for that?
Even if it's kind of automatic. Even a beast can understand that.
Yep.
Another semblance, he's actually actively holding it back when he uses it. So he's going full rise and as he uses other semblance, he's going all full hog.
It becomes a regal roar.
Nice. But I'm sorry, the last thing?
Fair enough. Yeah. And now comes the most terrifying potential Ricky.
What?
A beastman in full beast plan with beast organ guild with beast organ belief. How terrifying is that?
I thought something more terrifying.
What?
A beast will let my beast spirit.
The funny you mentioned.
After all, we only have the.
That could be long how even a beastman wouldn't be able to immediately control.
See here, they do exist, but there are 3 classes of beastmen. There are basically ancient, normal, prehistoric, primeval, and then
Well, remember, the divine beast spirits are only one of each exists.
yeah, but here's the thing. Where do you think they should go walk? Here's the thing. Mysticals are rare, even by beastmen. Beastmen are very rare and are rare in modern day.
Yeah.
Mysticals are especially rare because they are unanswered as powerful as well. By mystical, where do you think a lot of the myths of the monsters that where do you think a good chunk of the myths of monsters that seemingly make no sense came from? Yeah. Yes, these monsters in some way exist, but how common are they? Right?
Right.
The impression of so many monsters that day was not the fact that there were not that many monsters. Just these men that had shared that form existence.
Makes sense.
For example, say there's or even these men, what, like in a bull beastman, in man beast form, what is that gonna look like?
I mean, it's all.
RWBY, he has a rifle. What does that look like in man beast?
Werewolf.
You get the point. Not those, but there are mystical ones, like griffins and dragons and other stuff like that. But those divine beast spirits that do occasionally show, if they ever show them, they've only been ever exhibited in those mystical. Extremely rare. You gotta imagine how those occur. But when those two combine, you can only imagine. Remember, for example, when I think of Griffin beastmen, with the Griffin. Stay. I know you had you divine dragon back in the day, because that showed up in other people. They wanted to dragon beast.
Having been bought for a Reggie beast.
You get the idea. They only ever see the one. And now people are like, oh, so what is this? Because I thought of alpha before. What is an alpha? An alpha beastman thing. There's several alpha beastmen. Are those few beastmen? Induce King's will. Makes sense. And all these produces a peculiar reaction. Basically, those become their bodies become a bit of or just become more exceptional. Why? What happened? Beastmen, in a way, again, being the last thing done by the god of light before they got shuffled off by heaven from interfering. The god of light technically didn't fully have the design, all the tweaks out of the design. In effect, beastmen are technically unfinished. Which might explain the various issues they have, right? Yeah. Basically, using King's will, maybe sort of unlocks a bit of that. Like basically, yeah. Still fully do it. There's no way, aside from a deity, finishing the work for that ever truly. Okay, that's not gonna happen this one. Another one. But it is the closest.
Yes.
And those alphas tend to be the leaders of beastmen kind, and when two of them clash, well, you've seen what happens when two emperors clash, or two people with Kazurasaki clash. What do you think happens, Ricky? Sound like they're explosive. Basically, the kind of thing that you'd expect from basically the legends of monsters fucking beating the shit out of each other long back in the day. That was alpha beastmen fighting each other over turf and shit. Terrifying stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
Indeed.
And also, this is the other scary part, is that especially the mystical beastmen, they had the reason why they sort of dropped off and became so rare after